Dang, nibble it. Gotta whip out the old goodie. What's going on, guys? I hope you enjoyed the last video of the first startup since the teardown of the engine and reinstallation after the engine bay button up. It should have been, a simple clutch install, but instead I just went and did everything while I was at it, just because I like my cars to look decent. Anyways, so today I want to button up the little things in the car. I want to vacuum it out, clean out the trunk a little bit, maybe if the rain doesn't come pouring down. It was raining this morning, but first I'm going to head to Honda, pick up some transmission fluid, and I need to make an adjustment on the clevis on the clutch pedal, because right now it engages, but you really got to get down to the bottom of the board to engage the gear. The clutch has been bled out again last night off camera, and I think I've done enough, and I need to extend the rod out a little bit more so that way I can apply more pressure earlier rather than getting all the way down to the floorboard. Not a big deal. I have a plan in mind. Possibly going to start modifying the headlight and charge pipe today as well, because I have enough argon and it's not that far off of a modification to get it out of the high beam instead of the low beam section. And I want to take it for a spin today, so we'll see how that goes. But first, we're going to head to Honda, right? Meow. Now, before you fill up your new Honda transmission fluid, be sure to check to make sure your drain is tight, because it'll be a waste if it wasn't and it was leaking. Make sure your funnel is clean. I filled through the speedo hole right there, and then 2 quarts. Will you now? Okay, so it's a little confusing, a little complicated to explain my clutch issue right now. The issue is like this right here is the clevis to the pedal, the very top of the pedal, and then the rod that goes into the master goes right here, and the rod is literally like threaded 1.5 maybe into this hole, and I would have to literally step tippy-toe all the way to the floorboard in order for the clutch to engage very smoothly. If I'm like maybe an inch off the floorboard, it's kind of has a wall to click into, like click, and then I need to extend the rod out more in order to have the rod go into the master a lot sooner before hitting the floorboard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bolt in here with a nut as well, so that way the thread is like matched up, and I'm going to weld the nut to this clevis, so I have about maybe half an adjustment more out, and if that makes any sense. So I'm going to weld it on, reinstall it, adjust my rod accordingly on the master, and see if I can't find that sweet spot. So I got this nut welded on, and now hopefully it should give me more adjustability, about 1/2 inch, whatever the length of that nut is. I'm going to get this installed, probably try to turn the car on, and then adjust this accordingly until the clutch engages where I want it to engage. The clutch engagement is perfect right now, smooth. It releases exactly where I want it to release at, perfectly. I'm gonna take it a drive around the block, see how this feels. tell you what, it can hold the second gear burnout now, for sure. Feels good. The axle's working 100%. No weird noises and no clicking noises. So to whoever owned this car before me and built that fucking axle, bro, kudos, for sure. Yeah, so I may go to Harbor Freight and get a big ass tarp and put over this instead of the wood and the ripped plastic bag, because when I did that pool, I don't know if you can see it, water literally just like gushed out of the roof, and it seems to be sitting water up there. So I may take the headliner off, find out where the leak is coming from, and put more window sealant on it to prevent it from coming back into the car. Whew, I'm a little shaky right now. I'm gonna have to call my buddies and schedule an appointment for dyno tuning, because we're 2.5 weeks out, and so far the car is sounding really awesome. So yeah, I think I'm gonna start maybe cleaning the interior, vacuum it a little bit, and possibly work with the velocity stack. So I was sitting here trying to figure out, like, do I really want to modify this to make it come out of the high beam side, or should I just keep it on the low beam side? Because for one, this car would never see the street because it's not street legal, and secondly, I don't even have a bulb for this anyways, and like, do I necessarily need it to come out of the high beam side? If I ever drove this thing on the street, this wouldn't be sticking out, and I would have the original headlight back in here anyways if I did. So I'm sitting here brainstorming a little bit more. I may just pop it out of the low beam side and say fuck it, but yeah. My boy Bieber in the background. Would you guys believe me if I told you I cut the shit with a fucking grinder? Fish eye, baby, fish eye. No hole saw, no problem. So I used my grinder, my die grinder, and I cut as close to the circular marking as possible. And then I took my cutting tool for porting, this little guy right here, and pretty much went over all the way to the edge of my marking to get that nice circular shape. And then I took my razor blade and pretty much deburred it a little bit. Now I need to cut the inside to get a nice clean circle. I pretty much just cut a square in the back, and then the whole projector just came out of it like so. And I'm not worried about the back side, but now I gotta try to get a clean cut right there so we can see if we can get that to fit in here. What's up with this guy? Jesus. What is that? A Saab? Audi? Whatever it is. It sounds slow.
But she fucked me like she Haitian. Ass black, but the mind's looking Asian. I gave her the can in Kansas. I got it on tape. She okay.
Looks good to me. I passed out on the kitchen table. But anyways, I left the camera light on and it is now dead. But here is the intake installed with the headlight. Polished it out, looking really good. Unfortunately, the pipe is too short right here, and I will need to extend it about 3 to 4 inches out, so that way the V-stack can catch on and stick all the way to where the molding is at, because the V-stack is too wide and the headlight is pushing the pipe down instead of up. And if I was to try and attach this to the pipe, which I did earlier, this marked up the bumper right there. So I'm gonna have to extend that out here like so, so that way the V-stack can sit in the groove rather than on the bumper. But dryer's being used. I cannot weld right now. And I think what else I am going to be doing is moving to the car. And like I said, I want to vacuum all the crap on the carpet. I need a carpet on this side. 3.5 inches right here. From here, we'll place the V-stack right here. So I'm gonna cut it out and just get it ready. The dryer's still being used, so when I have the chance, I'll weld it. This rain is ridiculous. But as far as the hood closing, I'll show you guys in a second here. The original hood pin that was in it was this guy, and it was just 1 or 2, I believe. It was just sitting like that. There was nothing else on top. There was no pin. There was nothing. And a month or so ago, I went to the junkyard and I found this on a Maxima or something. But I was able to get both of them, and they're metal and not plastic. This is from my Aero catch that I broke on my sedan a long time ago. If you guys remember my sedan, I only had 1 hood pin on it and never installed the other one because I broke the latch before I could install the second one. And I got the plate with it right here, but I didn't get the screws because I figured I'll just get brand new ones or something. And I need to go find the pins for this as well. So right now I installed the first one using the previous hold because the hood was already obviously cut for it, and the frame was already cut for it as well. Trying to get my position correct before I Loctite it in place. We are good. What I am going to do now is, if you guys ever noticed in my red CRX, I have a hood shock, and just one of it, because this sucker right here is super strong. So what I did was, because my shocks came with them pre-mount right here, I cut the ball off one end right here, and I welded it to a 10mm right here. So this is what we have on here right now, and we are going to convert to this one right now. Ta-da! And there you have it. Hood shock bracket welded to the hinge, and this one has a bracket right here, but I don't like it, so I may change this or that one and get it to close a little bit more flush. Right now, because this is carbon fiber and that's a really strong shock, when you close it, you gotta have your hand here to really pull it down. And I mean, it'll close, but like this like 1/2 inch of gap is bothering me, and that's because that 10mm right there is preventing the shock from sitting flush to the fender, kind of how it is in my red CRX. So I'm gonna make adjustment to that another day, but you can see hood shock. Works perfect. So I didn't get to go to Harbor Freight to get So I didn't get to go to Harbor Freight to buy a tarp to cover the back half of the CRX, but I think what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to push the car up another foot and get the whole back half cleared of the canopy so the rain doesn't hit it, and then go into the car. Right now my cousin hit me up. We are going bowling like we do every Friday, every other Friday actually. So I'm going to wrap it up for tonight. I did not get the intake welded. I was so focused on that I totally forgot about this. But you guys got the idea. We mocked it up. You saw how, you know, it's gonna look briefly when it's all said and done. So we'll hit that again another day, probably tomorrow. But that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Looking back at it, I don't even remember what I did today, but I can tell you the car can handle a second gear burnout, and the axles are working good, so I'm happy for that. I'm looking forward to a lot more progress now that the car is mechanically sound. So if you guys like this video and you guys enjoyed that camera flip-flopping inside the car on that burnout, please give this video a thumbs up. Be sure to check out teesprings.com/built2drive and pick up some tees, maybe a hoodie, because it is rainy season and you know, you want to stay warm. So link will be in the description below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.